What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And happy Monday, people. Hope you are well. And yeah, good to be back. A little bit later than usual. Had a busy day today. I had a couple shows on AFTV, so I was rushing back, and then later show than normal. We'll be back to the normal time tomorrow. But big up to everyone locked in. Hope you are well. Lot to talk about over the weekend. And listen, apologies first of all, man, because we didn't do the Champions League final watch along, which I did have lined up. So basically, what happened Saturday afternoon, like the sun's out, and everybody I know is going to this Jamaica versus Nigeria game, Unity Cup. And I'm like, I need to go to this game. So I tried to get a ticket. I got a ticket, and I was like, it's a big risk because I'm not going to get back to my house in time for the final. So I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going for the culture. I'm going for the vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go to that game. And to be fair, it was a great game. Anybody that went to that game, the atmosphere was amazing in there. And yeah, man, it was proper, man. Keros was there. Big up, man. Big up. Yeah, we was there, and it was a great atmosphere. Really big game. Big occasion for the culture, I think, as well. And really enjoyable. So, yeah, I ended up watching the Champions League final at the Brentford Stadium in the bar after. So, and to be honest, when I saw the game 5-0, I'm like, what kind of game is this anyway? To be honest, the thing that disappointed me the most, people, was as an Arsenal fan, I'm watching that game thinking we could have beaten this Inter Milan team in the final. They were actually, in the build up to the game, I watched some show on TNT Sports, and they were saying that Inter, because Inter had lost in the cup, lost the title, and obviously their manager's being linked with a move as well, that there was a lot of problems surrounding them going into that game, and it just didn't happen. So, yeah, if only we'd have got there, man. But PSG, I mean, on one hand, it was a good final because we saw great football from PSG, but in a final, you want to see competition. It was no competition. It was light work. Having said that, just quickly while we speak about the Champions League final, and as I said, yeah, the Unity Cup was a great game, great atmosphere. Jollof beat rice and peas, people. You know what I mean? Jamaica lost on penalties, but it was a great game, and I was quite happy for Jamaica because they had the weaker team out. You know, Nigeria had Iheanacho, they had Chukwueze, they had who else played? Wilfred Ndidi played. So they had a few more players out than Jamaica did. So I was thinking, you know, if Jamaica had Leon Bailey and Antonio, and that, maybe they'll do all right, you know. Saw you on TV chatting with the Jamaica manager. Big up, you got your press pass. Hey, big up, man. I didn't even know that. Somebody messaged that and said, yo, I seen you speaking to Steve McLaren. Yeah, man, I had a quick chat with him and that, you know. And yeah, it was. Do you know what should I say this or not? I will say this. I will say this. So the media pass sort of that I got was not like a full media pass. So it was one that like gets you a ticket, gets you to certain parts of the ground, but it wasn't the full access because I sorted it out late. But I'm one of these people, like, I don't know. Like, if you tell me I can only go in that section and I can't go there, I'm still probably going to try and get in that section anyway. So the media pass that I had was only sort of got me around there, but then next minute I'm standing right next to McLaren and people are looking at yo, have you got access there? And I'm just blagging it, and you know, you can't knock the hustle, people. Anyway, let me not say too much before I get myself in trouble. But you know how it goes, people. You know how it goes. You have to try. Anyway, let's talk briefly about the Champions League final. I don't know about anybody else. I said this before. I wanted, I'm leaving with something. I'm leaving with something. Yeah, I should have left a message really on the community page saying no watch along. You're right, Shaquille. You're right. I thought football was the winner. I didn't want Inter to win the Champions League. I wanted PSG. There were some Arsenal fans that were like, listen, they knocked us out. Dembele was shushing us when he scored against us, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mind. Not that I didn't mind him shushing us. I just thought, I love the way PSG have played football this season. And I think we need to pull football away from football that kind of suffocates the opposition. Pep, oh, we'll dominate the ball until you're so out of energy that you make a mistake and we end up scoring against you. I'm bored watching that kind of football. I don't want to watch football like that on a regular basis. I want to see Desiree Doué nutmegging people, flip-flapping, step-overs, twisting man up like you're in the streets. You know when you used to play street football, if you nutmeg someone, that was like scoring a goal. In fact, you might stop the whole game. They might lock the whole game off. Two-step over nutmeg. Oh, man are jumping around. You know what I mean? That you don't see that in the game anymore. Vitinha looking like the reborn Cesc Fabregas. Baller. João Neves. Baller. Dembele. The man was being disciplined when we played against them. Left out of the squad, discipline. We beat them 2-0. We thought, right, they're cooked. You know what I'm saying? Dembele, back heel. That's Ballon d'Or Dembele, people. Ballon d'Or Dembele. Treble. Top goal scorer in the French league. Not even a natural striker. Ballon d'Or. Kvaratskhelia. Oh, my days. When you talk about market opportunity, people, £60 million. That is £100 million winger in the modern game, people. Mudryk cost 88 million. If we'd signed Kvaratskhelia, we might have beat PSG if they didn't have him and we had him. That's the difference. Unbelievable. Fabian Ruiz, Hakimi. I'll be honest, man. When we done the mixed 11, I picked Timber over Hakimi. I think I would change it. I think I would check. That guy's ridiculous. I don't like the fact the guy never celebrated, though, when he scored. I think you celebrate. He was only there for 1 year. And then you look at Nuno Mendes. They're a sick team, man. They're a sick team. Oh, but we had better XG. People online going, we had better XG than PSG. Like, that means we get silverware or something. I don't want to on all that. And before we finish, Luis Enrique. First of all, what a manager. What a manager. Treble at Barcelona. And I say it now and I say it again. I liked Luis Enrique's Barcelona more than Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. I've always said that. MSN is arguably the best front three we have ever seen in club football. I prefer his Barca to Pep's Barca. Maybe not better in terms of dominance, but excitement, definitely. Wins a treble at PSG after Messi and Neymar and Mbappe. So big him up as a manager, but as a man, going through what he went through, losing his daughter, the tifo that they put up, and the way he was speaking after the game, I thought, what a man as well. Real talk. To go through what he's gone through and to come back and win a treble, do you know what I mean? And then he could win the Club World Cup. He's probably going to smash Tottenham in the Super Cup, which is great news as well, because Inter worried me a little bit. I think PSG will smash them. Listen, I'm not saying that his Barcelona was better than Pep's. Quote me word for word here. Not better. I think it was more exciting. I think MSN was unbelievable to watch. Anyway, Luis Enrique, big him up, man. Great manager. And I'm glad that PSG won. Again, people, another team that have never won the Champions League that has now found a way to win the Champions League. Arsenal, take note. We have to take note. Clubs can do it. I know they spent a lot of money, but look at them tactical decisions. I would have never thought that Osman Dembele could be a striker. I really wouldn't. I just thought he's a born winger. Mbappe, yeah, listen, man, I'm a big fan of Mbappe, but not a good look for him. You know, leaves PSG, goes Real Madrid. Madrid are the Champions League winners. You don't win one trophy and then PSG win the treble. That's not a good look for Kylian, man. So is João Neves still too small for the Prem? He's unreal. He's unreal. He is unreal. I can't lie. But that system, man, it suits him as well. You know what I mean? They're so good on the ball, Lawrence. And like I said, tell me a number 6 in the Prem that's small, that's overly successful. Maybe Caicedo, but he's more box to box. Mish said Barcola created a Serbi with that fake shot. Oh, cremated the old. I mean, DeMarco was getting cooked. Jan Sommer looked like Superman against Barca, and he was awful in that game. But yeah, Kante is a bit of a... There aren't many Kantes. Cazorla was a genius. I always say to be a small defensive midfielder, you got to be incredible on the ball, like Cazorla, or you got to be an animal like Kante. Maybe João Neves. Yeah, he is that good. Anyway, let's move on. Champions League done. Unity Cup wrapped up. Let's focus on Arsenal. Do you know what I've realised at the weekend? I love watching football. Probably when it's not Arsenal. Like, I went to that Jamaica v Nigeria game, and don't get me wrong, you don't get a football atmosphere like that. That was actually like a carnival inside a stadium. It was crazy. Every time the ball went out, like, and half time and all that, they play in either a big tune from Jamaica or a big tune from Nigeria. So they're having a little break and a song comes on and you're going, man, yo, 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 yo. It was crazy. It was mad in there. It was mad. But what I realised, I just like watching football. When I watch Arsenal, I'm tense, I'm frustrated, I'm stressed. I'm not that person, but that's what Arsenal do to me. Arsenal make me not enjoy football. Real talk. They do not allow me to enjoy football because I don't see enough skill. I don't see enough flair. I don't see enough flavour. I just don't. Yeah, brother, people were dancing in there and everything. It was crazy. Arsenal make me not enjoy the sport that I love the most because of what I'm watching. It's madness. But anyway, we will still be here. We will still be talking about it. And we still have to hope that we sign some different players. As I said, the tunes were crazy. Arteta needs to come away from Pep's style a little bit, I think, and add his own little... Lawrence, you're right, because 2 seasons ago, even though we never won the league in that first year when we was 8 points clear, I loved watching Arsenal play that season. I loved it. Jesus' link-up play was elite. Martinelli was ripping up fullbacks. Saka was on fire. Odegaard creating chances galore. Do you know what I'm saying? Xhaka was balling out that season. Partey was balling. We were amazing to watch. And I've always said, I think the way we lost that title, it changed something in Mikel Arteta's mind. I almost think, up until that point, he thought we're going to play free-flowing football and destroy teams. And because we were 8 points clear and lost the title, it's like he was haunted by it and said, nah, you know what now? I'm going to double down on defending. We're going to get 2 number 6s. Yeah, we're going to buy more left backs, more goalkeepers, and we're going to defend. And you look at the facts are there, people, at the end of the day. Yeah, we had the best defence in the league this season in terms of goals conceded, which is great. You do need a solid defence to win a title, no doubt about that. But you need to score goals. You need to score goals. We scored a grand total of... We got 69 Premier League goals this season. Last season, we got 91. We're down 22 league goals on the season before. How can you drop that much in one season? It's too many. It's too many. Big Up Matty said, watching non-Arsenal football provides a refreshing football experience. I challenge any Arsenal fan to watch other leagues, then return to an Arsenal game night and day. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that's why we don't win cup competitions, because a lot of the time, cup competitions, it's moments. It's moments. Tight games, no one wants to lose, somebody gets you a moment. Guess what? The last time we won a cup competition, and I know I'm going to say his name again. I don't go through too many streams without saying his name. But Aubameyang won us the FA Cup. Why? Because he's a moments player. He's a moments player, and we don't have that. Alexis Sanchez, moments player. Guess what? Scores us the winning goal. Scored in the FA Cup semi-final winning goal against Manchester City, and then scored in the final against Chelsea when he volleyed it past Courtois. Moments player. Who's the moments player in this team? I suppose it could be Saka, but even Saka's got that academy player, overcoached kind of player thing about him as well, you know? So that's what we need to add. And you look, yeah, Cherky's going to Man City, and that is a moments player. So even Pep's probably adding the odd one. Lano said, why are we moving so slow in this window? Get Cesco in. I actually agreed with what you were saying until the second part of that sentence. Listen, we're always slow. We probably won't sign anyone till about the end of June. It'll be Zubamendi. User said, Cesco is perfect for merch drops. Yeah, the tall kits, you know. Gunnar Carlos, I think we end up with Gyokeres because he is cheaper. I know it's bad president. When do we see Arsenal choose the more expensive player? It might work. Can I give you a reminder? Don't get your hopes up with that thought process. I hope you're right. Now, Arsenal wanted Wilfried Zaha. They ended up with Pepe, right? Pepe costs more, but the payment structure was better, which is why we got him. So even though Sesko's going to end up costing more money than Gyokeres will be more money up front. Sesko will be cheaper, more spread out, Klarna layaway business. Don't always get caught up in the price. It's how that money has got to be paid, right? Do you know what I mean? And that's the reality of the situation. Arsenal love a finance deal, spread out the payments, buy now, pay later, and all of that business. So, yeah. Abraham says, Big C, just want to give you a shout out. Been watching you for years, bro. I feel like I know you, even though we've never met. Hey, big, that's the thing. That's the community, innit? You meet people on road, you say, yo, I'm thinking, yo, bro, I see your comments all the time. Big up, man. That's the whole point of a community, man. Big up. We have to do a link up with a community in London at some stage, definitely. Definitely, and hopefully people will turn up, you know. Carol said, we signed Cesco, no league title. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Listen, I'll be honest with you, right? I did a supporters club this morning. It was me, Turkish, and Dan Potts. The tone of that show was we're already feeling a little bit concerned about next season, you know, because we're looking at Cesco and going, Liverpool won the league. They're going to buy Wirtz, and they've bought Frimpong, and they want Gyokeres. Apparently, they want a striker. If Darwin Núñez goes in, you're thinking that's not going to be enough to win the league, bro. But we'll see. Anyway, let me get into the show. Big up to everyone locked in. Nearly 3,000 of you already. Let's talk transfers. This will all be about transfers pretty much today. It's that time. Arsenal players are off now on their holidays, although there's actually a international break coming up as well. But listen, this video came out. I'm pretty sure I can play this without any problems because it's off TikTok. So I'm going to risk it anyway. It's not even in English, but I'm just going to share it with you. It's just been shared. People are getting excited about it, but I'm not going to get too excited about it. So I'll play this back. It's not in English, just unless you speak Swedish, but read the captions. So this is basically an ex-teammate of Gyokeres FaceTiming Gyokeres and talking to him about transfers and Gyokeres. Let me just play it and you guys can listen to it. Let me play it back, right? Make sure the volume's up. Let's go.
Ja, men altså, jeg lurer på, jeg vet du ikke kan si så mye om det, Victor, men altså, hvor havna du i løpet av sommeren? Kan du gi oss et lite hint? Blir det Arsenal? Hva er alternativet da?
Vi får se. Det är ingen som jag kunde säga något roligare svar.
Ja, men
det blir det svaret alltid.
Ja, jeg skjønner det.
Ja, men da, Victor, Jævla kjekt å prate med deg, og så snakkes vi. Og så melder du med når det er ordnet og signert ned i Arsenal.
Ja da.
Yes. Fin en.
Ja.
Okay.
So he basically said to him at the end, text me when everything's sorted with Arsenal. And he said, yeah, sure. I mean, the only thing is, somebody was saying it looks like it's been edited, the video. So maybe it's not the full conversation and it's been chopped up. But listen, I'm going to keep it 100 to everybody. It might be edited. It might be AI. But listen, let me tell you, was I excited when I heard that bit at the end? It's desperation. This is what they do. It looks edited, I can't lie. They're cutting parts out, and I think it's a real conversation, but it works for me, people. It works for me. He said, text me when everything's sorted with Arsenal. He said, yeah, sure. Was he saying, yeah, I am, or did he just mean, yeah, I'll text you when I've sorted out? I don't know. I'm trying to give you some hope, people. I'm trying to give you some hope. That's what they've posted. Right now, it's desperate times, desperate measures. So I'm going to run with it. We're shameless over here, man. People saying it's an AI video. AI works for me for the time being. You know what I'm saying? It works for me for the time being. But, yeah, you're right. That is what you call clutching at straws, people. Clutching at straw. Listen, they know each other. They're probably just having a joke. Oh, bro, you going Arsenal? Ha, ha, ha. He probably off camera. He's going to know, isn't he, that where he's going. He's friends with him. He's his ex-teammate. He's not going to wait until he's online with the world watching to say what's happening. He's obviously off camera going to be like, bro, where you going? Yo, I'm going there, blah, blah, blah. But they asked him twice about Arsenal in the video. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to give everyone hope. It's summertime. The sun's out. We are scraping the barrel, though. We are scraping the barrel. Honestly, it's not good. It's not good, but it is what it is. Shaquille said, Big C, I thought why our team is so dysfunctional. It's Odegaard playing 8 rather than a 10. He's coming so deep for the ball and so right-sided rather than being central. We need a double pivot. I'm just going to let you know, I did another show at AFTV today as well. I did start, bench, sell. Right, and when I was asked about Odegaard, I actually said keep him, and some of my reason was Arsenal are not going to buy an attacking midfielder. So part of my reasoning was, well, they're not going to replace him anyway. If we'd have gone for an Eze or a Wirtz or a Cunha, I would have replaced him. But I was looking at it. Odegaard won back-to-back player of the seasons at Arsenal before this season just gone. Like, there's got to be something wrong. I always think when players, all of a sudden, their form just dips, there's got to be something wrong with the tactics or the management. How can you go from player of the season 2 years in a row to looking like you can't kick a ball from 25 yards? It's crazy. Listen, if we bought Gyokeres and Odegaard kicks into gear again, then it might be. But I think that Arsenal should be buying competition for him. But I agree with that comment. I think he's too deep. I think he has to drop too far back to get in possession of the ball. You know, the man's sometimes near the centre backs. Parent life, late nights with the babies. Well, I'm sure he ain't changing many nappies and filling up bottles, and I'm sure he's got a living nan. Odegaard looks like he got his mojo back towards the end. He had a couple good games at the end. I thought not Newcastle, was it? Oh, it might have been Newcastle, actually. He set up Rice. Yeah, and against Liverpool second half, I thought he played well. I'd give him one more season, but I'm putting him under a lot of pressure. Because I'll be honest, I did like him before this season. He is the most creative player in our team. But this season, he hasn't been good enough. He can't play like that again this season. Dio said, big up Big C and everyone. Genuine question. Copy of we sign Sesko and Gyokeres and just keep our wingers. Then like for Eze, just a thought, I'd be shocked if they bought 2 strikers. I would, but yeah, I don't. I doubt very much. I wouldn't mind that. Oh, and by the way, on buy, sell, keep, I'll let you know. Just one more. Havertz was very much sold by me. African Giant said, Mamouche, Ait Nori and Cherky City scouting system is Edgware Road. Listen, man, they need some silk in the team. You know what I mean? Even Pep's recognising. I got to come away from this robotic style. You know what I mean? Mamouche brought a little bit of sauce to the team. Cherky, silky baller. He wants Ait Nori at left back. I respect it, man. I told you, Pep keeps selling the pump fake to Arteta. Do you know what I mean? He keeps, oh yeah, go on, take Zinchenko, take Gabriel Jesus. You know why he wants Sesko, don't you? Because he's got a giant up front in Haaland, so he's going to get the B-Tech version of it. So now we're playing, you know, robotic U-shaped football. Pep's like, right, we've got him. That's Arsenal done for the next 2 years. Now let's buy some silky ballers like Mamouche and Cherky, you know, and then we'll play catch up in a year or two. Diggy said Chelsea in for Osimhen. Meanwhile, washed Sterling. Sterling is no longer our problem, people. You know what I mean? That's a Chelsea problem from now on. Bob said, I'm in no man's land. Already fed up of the window. Not really looking forward to the new season with our fan base. May watch non-league. The transfer window will tell us everything before the season even starts, to be honest. And then we'll take it from there. My advice, enjoy your summer, people. But Sam's, thank you for the super sticker, bro. Appreciate that as always. Conrad, technicalities will separate us from City and Liverpool. They are signing skilled players. We lack that luxury. And again, I don't want to be the bearer of doom and gloom because we haven't signed anybody yet. We could sit here in a month's time and be surprised. And we've signed players that we wanted, you know, and it's not Cesco or it's somebody else. Maybe we get Gyokeres. But if we go down that sort of Gyokeres route, if we go down the Cesco route and don't get a great left winger as well, it could go back to the Klopp and Pep thing again, and it's City and Liverpool title race. And we're sort of in the mix with Chelsea and Newcastle and teams like that battling for 3rd and 4th. You got to be very careful. You know, one bad window and then another bad window and you're playing catch-up. MJ said, you man told me Saka is better than Doué. Doué is, after Yamal, he's the guy that's got the streets, man. But one thing I'll always say, bro, is that in our team, the way we're playing, we need Saka. Because we need somebody that puts up numbers, you know. This is the football we're playing. What we need is a Doué on the left and a Saka on the right, or one that's productive, high numbers, and one that you just say, go and do what you want, rip people apart. But Saka's CV is individually is very good, but this Doué looks incredible. Big up Tracy, who said, new job will become a member to support you. Hey, blessings every time, man. Sam said Arteta is playing drafts. Pep is playing chess. Pep knows what he's doing, man. Pep's probably happy having Arteta there. Sam, after the World Cup ends next summer, plenty of quality managers will be available. Hopefully this is Arteta's last season. I hope this season Arteta either wins the league or gets sacked. I don't want nothing in between. Oh, he finished second, but we competed. You either lift up trophies and they can hype you up and I'll celebrate with them shamelessly, or I want him out, P45, type it up and bin him. Simple as that. MJ, thoughts on our new front three, Cunha, Gyokeres and Buemo? If you end up with that front three, you're back. You're back in the game. I'll be shocked if Gyokeres goes to United. Yeah, it's the new Arsenal kit. I do like it, to be honest, but I care more about what players they get. Oh, yeah, Saka was getting slandered for ignoring Sky Sports. Bon Sky Sports. Bon all of them. Simple. Yeah, they come up to you and they want to chat to you, but they don't mind criticising you openly. And then they want to, hi Bakayo, who do you think's going to win the race? Yo, come out my face. I tell you, they're lucky I never played in the Prem. They would hate me online. I'm telling you, move that microphone out my face. I heard you, man, talking. Yeah, I'm here to watch Formula 1. You've been running up your mouth. People think in modern day society, right, that if you're on some sort of pedestal as like a celebrity or a footballer or a rapper or anything in the public eye, they think that when somebody walks up to you and puts a microphone in your face, that they have an obligation that you have to talk to them. Why do you have to talk to them, bro? I'm at the Formula One watching Lewis Hamilton and all these brothers race. Man's putting a microphone in my face and a man's using his own right to say, I'm cool, I don't want to talk to you. What does he have to? Is it a press conference? Bond Sky Sports, fam. Tell him, move out my face. That's what I would have told him. You know what I'm saying? But when Pep did it, what? You seen the video surfaced when Pep was telling him, no, I don't want to chat to you lot because you lot been running your mouth. So come on, but we already know what it is, unfortunately, people. You know, we already know what time it is. You know? Oh, now Saka's got a bad attitude, apparently. But, you know, it is what it is, people. White Glove, remember when we were in for Doué a couple summers ago? Why can't we take gambles on young ballers, deal with the squad? Doué at Arsenal would be on the bench. Let's just keep it 100, people. Let's just keep it 100. Desiree Doué plays for Arsenal. He's sitting on the bench next to Ethan Nwaneri because of our manager. That's just me keeping it a buck. Babatunde, honestly, see, I'll get Osimhen for the culture. He is aggressive, explosive, good in the air, but definitely Gyokeres over Cesco. I would take Osimhen as well, especially over Cesco. All day long. You lot are so greedy asking for a striker when you got King Kai. Oh, don't remind me. On a serious, people saying Delap, England's next #1. What do you think of his technique? The thing is, when you look beyond Harry Kane, you've got Watkins that's nearly 30, and you've got Ivan Toney that's nearly 30. So who's the future England #9? It could be Delap. I don't know. He looks good at Ipswich. It's just whether he can make that step up to Chelsea now. But for 30 million, I would have taken Delap at Arsenal as the project striker, and then you buy the top striker. So Chelsea, if they go and get Osimhen, who they've been linked with, if you've got Delap as the one in rotation, I think that's a really good signing. If I was Arsenal, I would buy 2 strikers, to be honest, and get rid of Havertz. Sharif said, big up Big C, just opened a bar in Miami Beach. If Arsenal come here on tour and you come to Miami, you get drinks at my bar for free. Bro, and I was on holiday in Miami with a family last year. What's the name of the bar? I want to fact check this so that if I come back, you know, I'm knocking on the door and saying, yo, brother, the super chat's there, you know, I'm ordering drinks. Big up yourself, bro. I love Miami, man. That city is unreal. But yeah, man, definitely let us know the name of the bar. You know, the whole community might turn up. Who knows? You know? Right, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. We saw that slightly dodgy looking video that looks like it's been edited, but for the sake of the content, we'll assume that it's happening. For those who've just tuned in, obviously it was a clip of somebody asking Gyokeres if he's going to Arsenal. So yeah, we're excited, but are we within our rights to be excited or not? Anyway, a bit more about Gyokeres, then we'll move on to Sesco. There's a story coming out of Portugal today that Arsenal have made, and again, don't shoot the messenger. How real this is, I don't know. Arsenal have had a £59 million bid rejected by Sporting Lisbon, and again, mainstream media are not reporting it, so you never know with these things how true it is or not. 70 million euros, which is around £59 million. Apparently Arsenal made the offer. Sporting Lisbon have rejected it. According to the same report, Arsenal have already agreed a 5-year contract with Gyokeres. Again, how true this is, I don't know. What they're sort of saying in the media now is that Arsenal are trying to get both of these deals at a point where they're ready to go. So they want to negotiate with Sporting, negotiate with Gyokeres, and then the same with Cesco. Put both of them on the table and say, pick which one you want. I don't know whether I believe that. I don't know whether I believe that. If Arsenal had made a £59 million offer for Gyokeres, I think that would be all over the press. So maybe they're just doing this to keep it looking like we're still there. I think he's there, but I think he's the one in the background, unfortunately. And I wish that wasn't the case. I've said on this show I would take Gyokeres or Osimhen over Cesco. But I think they're negotiating to get Cesco, and if they can't get him, maybe they come back and get Gyokeres. But I think Gyokeres will end up at another club anyway. Man said it was 59 million and a penny. That would make more sense. Listen, we spoke over the weekend about the Cesco news. I'm going to talk about Cesco after this. It's I look at Arteta and I think clearly Arteta wanted Cesco from last year. Tried to get him last. Do you know what? Ricardo, by the way, is a sporting fan. How good do you think Gyokeres is? There's a guy who runs a RB Leipzig fan channel, and I messaged him about Cesco. He sent a few notes back, but I think I'm going to try and get him on a video to go into a bit more detail and explain it a little bit more. But he was saying, you know, Cesco's a good player, but maybe not quite at the level of Arsenal yet. Maybe he needs a bit more time to develop, which is what we've all kind of said. He said there's a lot of potential. He's just not like a deadly finisher, which is not what you want to hear, really. So, yeah, let us know how good you think Gyokeres is. Saw Berta in a behind-the-scenes training video. That man looks serious. Listen, do you know what, people? My sort of hope and expectation of Berta, it's diminished a little bit. I'll be honest with you. It's diminished a little bit. And it's not because I don't think he's very good at his job, because I think he is. I'm not sure how much power Berta's going to have at Arsenal. I'm really not. And I almost wonder whether we're all sitting there going, right, he's brought Berta in to go and sign top quality players and take us to that next level. I'm now looking at it going, if they brought Berta in to make sure we sell players for more money, which he was amazing at Atletico, by the way, and we've given too many players away. Have they brought him in to make sure the big boys sign new contracts? And also just to give us better relationships with more agents around the world. I still, and I don't know anything, this is just my gut feeling and what I'm seeing. My feeling is still that Arteta is going to have the final say on transfers. And I still think that if Berta went to Arteta and said, listen, I think we should sign Gyokeres. I think if Arteta thinks he wants Cesco, I think we would end up with Cesco. I really do. Eclipse said Gyokeres is better than Isak. From what I've seen, I think all-round game, Isak offers more. And he's doing it in the Prem already. But Gyokeres just looks like an absolute beast of a goal scorer. And whilst I don't think the Portuguese league is that good, and you know, 40-odd goals, 50 goals a season, I still think that ends up scoring 20, 25 goals a season in the league. So for me, I would take Isak over Gyokeres personally. I've seen the guy rip up Van Dijk, rip up Gabriel and Saliba, scoring finals, skillful. I would definitely go with Isak. For me, it would be Isak, then maybe Gyokeres and Osimhen, joint second, and then you can start looking at Cescos and people like that. To be honest, I would have took Ivan Toney last season. Ivan Toney was at the Jamaica game on Saturday. Actually, I didn't get the opportunity to speak to him. He was just a bit further down. But I would have said to him, did Arsenal ever actually come in for it, or was that attitude story made up? Big up, Harvey said Gyokeres plays centre forward for Sweden, but I think that's more because Isak can play out wide. Gyokeres not really. He's more adaptable. Shibe said, yo, Curtly, you've been great. It's been a while. Been away. Back now. Gonna renew my membership next week. Big up to you, bro. So yeah, man, I was at the Jamaica game, man. It was a great game. Great atmosphere. Aksu said, big up from Finland. I would take Alvarez. Yeah, I like Alvarez. Really good player. And Sharif said, it's bro, the bar is called Mini Bar. All from the community are welcome. There we go. Hey, listen, people, don't. I told you. Remember that day when we was talking about, I should have really remembered that stream, but one day, right, we were talking in here and we said, who can get discounts? Who's got links with things, right? And so many people in the community was like, yo, I work at JD Sports in Southampton. Come in, you get 20% off. This next brother was like, I work in TK Maxx in London. This, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. I said, yo, we got a strong community here, you know? We got a strong community. Look, I'm Googling right now, minibar, the Meridian, Miami Beach by Casa. Bro, I'm telling you now, I'm due another trip to Miami, real talk. I might even go Club World Cup. So, bro, if I turn up, I'm going to be saying C-Unit at the bar. That's the password, right? When we come in. Miami, C-Unit community. We do the link up in Miami. Mini bar. That's better than doing it in London, right? Big up Sharif then, bro. Appreciate that. And Justin said, Chris Wheatley just tweeted about the Gyokeres video, so it must be real. We're in business. I mean, listen, Chris Wheatley is not exactly gospel when it comes to Arsenal anymore, but, you know, if the journalists are picking up on it, then maybe it's, maybe we have a little bit of hope, you know? Let's see. Let's see. Anyway, from Gyokeres to Cesco, Sahil said Benjamin Tesco, Berta has been catfished. Or he's catfished us. GTA 6 settings, exactly. We just got to wait and wait and wait. I'm tempted to do the Club World Cup. I don't know. The problem with the Club World Cup at the moment, there's not a lot of hype around it. So, if we see that it gets bigger and better as the tournament goes on, I might go in. Mr. FIFA said, I work in Curry's in Orpington, Bromley. If you need electronics, let me know. People, I'm telling you, the community's strong here. We're doing God's work here, people. We're trying to, if you need something, you put it in the community. Somebody works there. Somebody must be in JD Sports, Foot Locker, Curry's, BMW, whatever you need. But it's all here, people. I'm telling you. I'm going to start writing this down at the end of a stream, so that I remember this. I'm telling you. Anyway, Nations League final. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what I can do outside of the season, because I just want to watch some good football. You know, I would have gone to the NBA playoff final maybe if the Knicks got there. Obviously the Heat are not that good either, so I like the Heat as well, but they're all over the place. My little bro landed that job at Google. Big up, man. Big up. Big up Laser Gaming's little bro, man. Follow Laser Gaming. He's doing big things in the gaming community as well. North London Forever said, Curtis, if we don't hurry up and sign Gyokeres, the stress will cause my hairline to recede so far I'll become... Bro, Arsenal stress is different, bro. I'm telling you. Anyway, let's talk stress even more, people. Cesco. You know what? I felt a little bit bad. I'll be honest. I felt a little bit bad. I thought, have I wrote this guy off too quickly before he's even turned up at the club? But I haven't. Because you know what? You can only go off how you feel at the time. If Sesko joins Arsenal and he's up front and we're doing a watch along, he will get my support. If I see him on the tour, I say, big up, good luck, 20 goals, come on, bro. You know what I mean? But I can't pretend how I feel about a situation to just appease people. I just can't do it, people. I'm not capable of doing it. I'm really not capable of doing it. Like, the Cesco news, it bothers me. It bothers me, people. And it bothers me in the wrong way. Like, yeah, no, that's an absolute banger. Stressco. An unknown sees right as well. It's Stockholm Syndrome. Because what they do, right, you don't want the player, but then because you realise Arsenal are probably going to sign him, you try and convince yourself that you're happy with that signing. And you know what that leads to? Disappointment. Because you lie to yourself. Because I remember when we were going to buy Jamie Vardy, and at the time I thought, yeah, man, Jamie Vardy, I think he won the Golden Boot in the Prem the year Leicester won the title, or he was right at the top. So I thought, yeah, man, Vardy at the time, we had Giroud, and we ended up signing Lucas Perez. And then I started saying, yeah, but Lucas Perez, he's quick. Oh, and he's left-footed. Oh, and he made Spanish team of the season on FIFA. He must be a baller. Next minute, I watched the guy play. I said, we ain't winning no title with this guy. Gonzalo Higuain's being linked with Arsenal. 30-plus goals at Napoli. I'm excited. I can't wait. We signed Danny Welbeck. Then I started doing up copium. Yeah, but remember when Liverpool signed Daniel Sturridge, and Sturridge hadn't really been a first-team player, and he came to Liverpool and he ripped it up. So Welbeck, he's going to come to Arsenal and do what Sturridge was doing at Liverpool. But it don't work like that. So I'm just at the point now, people. I just have to say it as it is, man. I'm not excited by this. And you know what? Big dreams. That what you're saying there is what a lot of Arsenal fans are doing, and football fans in general are doing it. Like, you go on Twitter and you check Fabrizio, and you pull the screen down to make it refresh. Yo, he's dropped a man messaging me, yo, Fabrizio Bomber, and I'm looking and it's like, yo, Man City won 8-0. I'm like, brother, I don't care about that bomber. If it's got to be Arsenal, if it ain't Arsenal, it's got to be headline news. You know what I'm saying? They keep saying, yo, Fabrizio Bomber in the group chats. I'm like, bro, it's Man City buying a left back. Don't tell me Bomber and then I see that. Ornstein, Fabrizio. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got us hooked. They've got us hooked. The transfer window's crazy. Listen, as I said, I'm going to repeat what I said the other day. I think Cesco has got potential. I do. He's 21, 22. 6'5". I think he's got potential, but I don't think he's what we need right now. Do you know what? If we were signing him and another striker, I think he'd be a really good signing. You know, if we had Gyokeres or Osimhen or Isak or someone crazy like that, and you signed Sesko, I'd be saying, yeah, man, that's a good signing. But you're signing him as the main man. And I just don't think that's... Arsenal do this a lot. They try and make the side man the main man, and they can't deal with that pressure, and that's my issue with him. And people will get onto him if he doesn't light up the spot straight away. That's what I don't like about it. So he could actually be a really good player, but the fan base will be so frustrated if he joins and doesn't do well that he'll turn into a public enemy quickly, and that's not his fault. That's not even his fault, to be honest. So I'm telling you now, if he comes to Arsenal and struggles, I'm not even going to criticise him much. I swear down I'm not. If he comes to Arsenal and he's missing sitters, I'm not even going to say much. You can imagine. Do you know what? In my own head, as I'm saying that, I'm saying, you know what? By the end of August, he misses a one-on-one against like Liverpool, and I'm calling him a big giraffe and criticising him after I'm sounding all mature now. You know, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be respectful. And then it's like a few moments later, you giraffe, we should have never signed you. You know how it's going to go already. I feel like I'm not even being honest with myself here. But I'm trying to say, if he's not good, it's not his fault. It's going to be the manager's fault. And the recruitment team is what I'm trying to say anyway. Matt Law said, anyway, Cesco, it feels he's moving more to Arsenal now. It's going in that direction. I read something over the weekend, by the way, that Leipzig, they need dough. They need money. I remember that. What was that film, man? Life. One of my favourite films, that film. Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. Wasn't there a guy in there called... what was his name? No, it was Can't Get Right, wasn't it? That was the guy who got out of prison. Yeah, I was thinking of something else there. Anyway, yeah, they need money. Where did they finish in the league this season? I think they missed out on Europe completely, actually. Oh, man. Yeah, they didn't even make Europe. Apparently, they need money. So what I'm thinking is, Leipzig are going to give us a nice payment plan, man. You know they are. You know what they're going to do. They say, yeah, man, pay 70 million. Named Jengalang Jengalang. What a film, by the way. I'm telling you, Leipzig are going to say, listen, man, yeah, on paper, you know, it's going to look expensive, 75 million. But, you know, like when you go into the car showroom, they're like, yeah, I know, it's 20 grand. But listen, if you just put this down today and take the paperwork, you know, £500 a month for, you know, that's what Arsenal are doing, people. Buy now, pay later business. They'll end up signing him, man. I can see it already. Name Jengaleg, Jengaleg. Cesco, you know. Anyway, get ready for it, people. Get ready for it. Benjamin Sesko. Also, Sammy Mokbel, who seems to be one of the mouthpieces of the football club now. He's put out a little, I think it was a Q&A he did online. Yeah, you lot putting all clear. I'm the Pepe. Yeah, I'll do a watch along to the film. It's mad. It's all mad. Pit seed. Yeah. I won't read what they say in reply to that. But we all can't get right in real life. We can't get right. At least got out of the prison. You know what I mean? We're still locked in the prison of Arsenal. He said, my information is that the club are working towards confirming the frameworks of both deals before making a final decision on which to proceed with, which is what I said at the start. Are they negotiating with both? Cesco as near universal backing at the Emirates, but crucially will be the more expensive deal. Gyokeres' chances of moving to Arsenal have increased since Andrea Berta's appointment as sporting director. The price is key here. Cesco ticks many boxes in terms of profile. He is younger than Gyokeres and plays in a stronger league, the Bundesliga, according to recruitment data. But some of the reported figures indicate he could cost £93 million. If they spend £93 million on Cesco, they might as well close down the club and start all over again in the conference. Gyokeres is more economical, but would see the club divert from their longer-term strategy, given Cesco has always been a target. This, for me, is embarrassing. If this is true, by the way. Number one, I don't think he will cost 93 million. I'll be honest. I think that's made up. I don't see any way how they can think they'll get that for him. Timo Werner, when they originally sold him to Chelsea, you go and look at his goal record, it was way higher than Cesco's. And they got like 50 million euros for him. Yeah, Haaland costs like 60 million. They can't get 90 million for him. I think it will be about 60, 70. On top of that, the thing that irritates me is it's almost like Arteta's saying, no matter what any other striker in Europe did this season, I was going to sign Cesco. Like, surely he should have the mindset that, okay, my plan is to sign Cesco, but he hasn't had a great season. He's only scored 13 goals. Gyokeres ripped up the place. Can you not change your mind? It's almost like he's saying, no matter what happened, I was buying Cesco. He must genuinely think he can turn this guy into a monster. He must. I think we're just going to spam crosses in when we attack. Saka's going to cut inside and just whip crosses in all game. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. 4 games at the Euros, didn't score. 13 goals in 33 games. I don't know. I don't get it. I think he likes him because he's young. So they'll be able to sell him on in the future for a profit. They like him because he's 6'5", and we're going to spam crosses. And, you know, Partey will be doing long throw-ins all over the place. We'll have a giant up front. And thirdly, you can bench him some weeks for Havertz because at the end of the day, he's a 22-year-old Slovenian international that hasn't done that much in Europe. And if he gets benched, he's not going to make a whole heap of noise, is he, people? He's going to take it because Arsenal double his wages. And he'll take that. Where Gyokeres, nearly 27, he's the most informed striker in Europe. He's not going to accept getting benched for an attacking midfielder in Havertz. So that's why I don't think he wants to deal with that kind of pressure, which is frustrating. I mean, they're actually saying Gyokeres could be cheaper than Cesco. So not only is he better than him, better numbers, and cheaper, they're saying no. Let's get the other guy because he's younger and has sell-on value. That's the kind of talk that I hear from Brentford and Crystal Palace. Sell-on value. We're supposed to be the hunter, not the hunted. When you sign a top player, you shouldn't be worrying that much about, well, what if we have to sell him in 3 years? He should win you a title. That pays for itself. Did you have to drop a bag, someone says, for the Jamaica tickets? Luckily, I ended up getting it for free in the end, which was decent to me. Obviously, I got some sort of access, but not the full access. I left it a little bit too late. My plan was to do a watch-along for that game, then the Champions League final. But, you know, let me tell you something about England, right? You see, in England, you don't get bright sunshine often. So, you know, when you're outside and you're like, yo, it's Saturday, it's 24, 25 degrees, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, right, it's hot today. And Jamaica are playing Nigeria like 30 minutes down the road. And I'm thinking, watch along in the bedroom. I got to go to that game. I had to go to the game. So, yeah, it was one of them. A white glove, international stats. Isak, 39 appearances, 11 goals. Gyokeres, 22 appearances, 10 goals. Yeah, I don't think you can read too much into them. Gyokeres leads the line. He's always more likely to score more than Isak for his country. Final boss, Arteta, 2 years behind Pep in the brain again. Yeah, I mean, the trophy cabinet would say he's 20 years behind Pep. Riku, Mamouche outscored Cesco and he left in Jan. More goals and assists in half a season. Crazy. Alberto, Havertz 2.0. We need a different striker than Sesco. I'd rather you played up front than Sesco, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a no-brainer. Go and get a proven striker. Big up Alex with the super chat. Red Dust said, it's like the club is waiting for someone to bid for Gyokeres so they can say, we don't engage in a bidding war. Yeah, they're looking for an excuse. Then proceed to sign Cesco, who's more expensive, along with Sane on a free transfer. If we are Cesco and Sane, you know, geez. Cesco learning from 29 how to be a striker. Horror. Exactly. When you get a young striker, you want a good striker that he can learn off. Who's he going to learn off? The donkey. I mean, come on. If Martinelli or Havertz are starting the first game of the season, we aren't winning the league, said Danmio. Yeah, I want Martinelli on the bench. And Havertz, I want him sold. Red Dust, I couldn't care less who we sign up front after watching the Champions League final. I know that we need to change our system. We need more dynamism in midfield. High tempo in transition from middle to the final third. Yeah, 100%. What is this? Somebody saying there's a bomber about Gyokeres and Liverpool. If that is true, I'm ending the stream right now. Let me see this. Apparently, the odds of him going to Liverpool got slashed this morning out of nowhere. Nah, I can't see it. Nothing official. Nothing official. Apparently, they're one of the clubs that are interested in him. But it does say a bid is unlikely until Darwin Núñez has been sold. And this is what I'm talking about, man. These lot are stupid. And this is why I tell you, don't believe these Liverpool fans when they're gaslighting us. Oh, I think Cesco's a really good signing. Yeah, they want us to sign Cesco. They're going to watch us sign that giraffe. They'll sell Darwin Núñez to Saudi and then they'll go and buy Gyokeres and laugh at us. Trying to hype us up to sign these mid players. Nah, man. When Darwin Núñez gets sold, yeah, we'll probably sign Darwin Núñez, like Monty's saying. You know what I mean? We'll end up with Darwin. I'm vexed, man. Gyokeres ends up... Imagine if Liverpool signed Kirkes, Frimpong, Wirtz and Gyokeres. Lock off that season. Lock that season off. This is what you're supposed to do when you're in a good position financially. You ain't buying no little silly, foolish players. This is why you need Michael Edwards, I'm telling you. Get this guy out as well, this manager. Vexing me already. The season hasn't even started. Den said, people mention Cesco fitting Arteta's system more than Gyokeres. Well, that same system hasn't been bulletproof. Exactly, bro. Has that system worked? No. So why not change it up a bit? Oh, but he doesn't suit the system. Won that system. Change that up a little bit. As I always say, did Aguero and Haaland look at their profile? You know what I mean? They said, "Oh, Haaland won't work at City. They don't really cross the ball like that." You adapt. Good players. You adapt with each other and get good players. You know, but 3.7k watching, great numbers. Really appreciate the support. Right, what have we got left here in terms of transfer stuff? Couple more stories. We hopefully we'll get some more concrete news this week regarding the striker situation. Juan Garcia from Espanyol. According to reports, Arsenal have dropped out of the race to sign Juan Garcia. They do not consider paying Garcia's €25 million release clause appropriate, while David Raya is the first choice. He's also being linked with Real Madrid as well now. And again, I said this before, in a summer like this, you do not need to be spending big money on a goalkeeper. You don't, right? You need, at the end of the day, goalkeepers can play nearly every game, right? You get a decent young goalkeeper that holds a couple early rounds of the FA Cup, couple early rounds of the Carabao Cup, and maybe 1 or 2 Champions League games if you've already qualified. Apart from that, I don't give a damn. Raya can play 50 games next season. Listen, it looks like Garcia, his stock has gone up. Because a year ago, it looked like nobody really was in for him. Now I'm seeing Real Madrid, 1 or 2 other clubs. So it looks like maybe he's going to end up as a first-team goalkeeper somewhere else. So, you know, it's one of them, but I don't particularly care. Spending big money or any kind of decent money on a goalkeeper this summer does not bother me whatsoever. So I won't be losing no sleep over that one. If we move on from that, we've got Thomas Partey. Apparently, Thomas Partey's agent has had talks with Barcelona in the past week. The player has so far been unable to agree a new contract to Arsenal beyond the expiry of his present deal this month. I think it's very important to understand, by the way, that contracts in the Premier League run out on the last day of June. So even though the season has finished, Thomas Partey is officially still under contract to Arsenal. Obviously, the problem, he can sign a deal for a team outside of the Premier League, even whilst being under contract. So Arsenal have to be very careful, because Arsenal might be relaxed and thinking, you know what, we're cool, we get Zubimendi done, we've got till the end of June, we get him to sign a new deal. All of a sudden, if Barcelona turn up and say, yo, man, there's a little 2-3 year deal on a free transfer, go back and live in Spain, blah, blah, blah. You never know, people. Listen, Barcelona, some people saying, why would Barca sign him? They like them kind of free transfers. They like them. They haven't got loads of money. They've just built a new stadium as a squad player for 2 years in a league that's not as physically demanding. He might have 2 or 3 good years in him to go and play in Spain. So I think Arsenal need to be very, very careful, because Zubimendi coming in and Jorginho leaving, I think that's good. Like, that's an upgrade. But if you lose Jorginho and Partey, Zubimendi by himself wouldn't be enough. You've then got to go and buy a midfielder again. So they need to be careful. They need to be careful. Barcelona will sign him, sell him to Saudi for 30 million. It wouldn't surprise me, bro. It would not surprise me. You know how these clubs do business, man. You know, they'll we've seen it with other players where we've let them go, and then other clubs have sold them for profit. So don't be surprised. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it doesn't happen. And then the final story before we begin to round up people is... Where is it? Leroy Sane. Leroy. It appears Leroy Sané's chances of signing a new contract at Bayern Munich are slim. Arsenal have now taken concrete steps, concrete people, in signing the player. Sané wants to stay close to his family, therefore a move to London appeals to him. As I said before, his wife and child moved from Germany back to England and specifically to London. And Leroy Sané, it looks as if will be leaving Bayern Munich on a free and will be available. And apparently he's been offered to Arsenal and Tottenham. That's what I've been seeing. He is on big wages, though, £250,000 a week. He's 29 years of age, just turned 29. 11 goals, 5 assists last season. It's a tricky one because I've always liked Leroy Sané. I have, I'll be honest. I've been a big fan of him. I don't think it's Sterling 2.0. I think he's still better than what Sterling is. As a squad player, I would take him. As a squad player, honestly. But if you're signing him to be a starting left winger, I don't think that's the answer. So let's say Arsenal went and bought Rodrigo. And then they said, yo, we're going to grab Leroy Sané as well. I'd say, yeah, man, I'll take that. I'll take that, people, honestly. Can play left, can play right, good rotation. But if you're signing him and going, yo, I'm starting him left wing next year and I want him to lead us to the league title, I'd be saying, at 29 with a few injuries, has he even got the energy or the motivation to do that? Does he only want to come back to the Prem just to be near his family, or does he really want to be at Arsenal? I don't know. So the wages are big, but then Havertz on 275, people, and look how poor he is. What's his injury record like? I mean, it says he played 30 games in the league last year. So 27 the year before, 32 the year before that, 32 the year before that. So is his injury record that bad? I honestly don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't really... Let's have a look at his injury record on Transfer Market. How many games has he been out for in the last couple of years? Because I see a lot of people in the comments saying he's injury prone. So last season he was injured twice. He was out for... He got injured in pre-season, which required surgery on his groin. That's never a good thing. During the actual season, he only missed 4 games in the league, apparently. He was out for a month during the season. So, yeah, 1 injury. Listen, yeah, I don't think he is that injury prone. As I said, for me, as a squad player, I think I'd take him. As a starter, maybe not. Maybe not. So if they pulled out Cesco and Leroy Sané, I'd say you're an absolute disgrace. If you think that's winning you a title at this stage, like Leroy Sané should just be yo, I've signed my Rodrigo for left wing. I've signed my Gyokeres. I've signed my Zubimendi. And then you know what? You get towards the end of the window, you go, we could do with another squad player. I'll take a Leroy Sané on a free. I don't think he is Sterling 2.0. I think Sterling was more finished than what Sané is. And people have to understand, man. People will go, yeah, 250 grand a week, but he would cost you at least 20, 30 million, even at his age, 29. So if you're getting him for nothing, you give him, what, a 2-year deal? At 250 with a 1-year option. After a year, maybe you could get rid of him. I don't know. I wouldn't mind taking him on a free as a squad player. Our squad is not great. You need decent options. Imagine 20 minutes to go in a tough game, you're bringing on Leroy Sané. It's not a bad player. If you're starting him every week, that's a different discussion. And the whole Man City connection with Arteta, don't be surprised if that deal happens, man. We've seen this story before. He loves an ex-Man City or an ex-Chelsea player, or... Dharmesh Chef apparently has just said, Leroy Sané has been mentioned with Arsenal. It appears that link is more a case of Sané being offered to clubs rather than clubs going out to try and sign him. Yeah, his agent will be offering him all over the place and saying, you know, do you want to take him? I've seen a few people reporting this Victor Gyokeres video now, so maybe it's not as made up as we thought. So basically, the quote at the end was, this was Gyokeres' former teammate, Leo Odegaard, said, Victor, great talking to you. Text me when everything is signed and sorted at Arsenal. Gyokeres said, yeah, sure. It did sound very light-hearted, though. It wasn't like... It said like they were laughing and joking. So whether he's just like, I'm having a laugh with my friend online and, you know, he's just playing up a little bit. But, you know... When you're desperate for top signings, people, those little jokes, I don't find them funny. Yeah, I take them seriously. I'm actually going to the armory now to get Gyokeres 9 on the back of this shirt. I'm not. Don't clip that. I'm joking. Anyway, people, as I said, there's rumours today that Liverpool, if they get rid of Darwin Núñez, they will move for Gyokeres. Now, I'm sorry. If you allow them to sign Wirtz, Frimpong, Gyokeres, and Gyokeres, you are a lunatic cartel. You get this deal done quickly. One, because we need him, and two, to stop them getting him. So, if we sign Gyokeres, I think I'll stream for about 10 hours. We'll just stream all day in celebration. But if it's Cesco, maybe just a quick pre-recorded 10-minute video. Anyway, but when it's Gyokeres, the age is the problem. It's pathetic, isn't it? 26 years of age. And they're saying, oh, I could be too old. ATP, the league needs the band together versus Liverpool. Big up to Ace. People, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. If you're watching on playback, let me know about the news, what we've spoken about. Hit the like button and subscribe. And I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.